Hanging like this can take pressure off a lower back disc that's herniated. But people usually think about hanging upside down on an inversion table. However, it is possible to take pressure off your lower back disc using a pull-up station and a dip station just like this one. Flipping upside down is just not for everyone because the blood rushes up into your head after a while. If you have allergies or sinus issues, all that mucus will go back up into your head. Plus people live with the constant fear sometimes of sliding off the ankle supports and hitting your head because you fall off that inversion table. And I'm not saying inversion tables are bad, they're just not for everyone, and I hope to present to you in this video an alternative in case you're not an inversion table type of person. So in this video, I'll be giving you my honest physical therapist opinion about using a pull-up and dip station to help heal a herniated disc problem. Let me tell you why you would hang for a herniated disc problem first. Here are the discs in your lower back. They're the cushions between all the vertebrae, all the bones that make up your back, and they act like springs that are designed to take absorption, to absorb shock or forces that are going through your body. If those forces are not normal for what they're designed to take, or they're too much, or if you have muscle imbalances in the area that are causing too much force on one part of the disc, then you can injure the disc, and that's typically called a herniated disc. It can also be called a slip disc, a bulging disc. There's all kinds of other names. Those are probably the three most common. For the purposes of this video, I'm just going to say herniated disc, and I mean all of them. Now, the theory with hanging upside down is that where you're hanging from is your ankles, and so it's distracting or decompressing the area in your back when you're upside down because your upper body weight is pulling on this area. But you can go the other way around too. The issue that people run into is that they need to use their upper body strength a bit in order to take pressure off the lower back. I kind of like that because there's nothing wrong with getting a little bit stronger in your upper body, and you don't have to be able to hang completely from your hands or your elbows. There's ways where you can do this where it's lighter and it's not so strenuous on your arms. I'll show you exactly how to do this and how to modify it by the end of this video. First, let me tell you some features of our pull-up and dip station. Let me start at the top here. You have the pull-up bar that's extra wide in case you want to grab on the outer edges, and it's padded in the middle and on the handles out here with a non-slip grip. This thing is made of carbon steel. It's very sturdy, and it says that it's supposed to support up to 330 pounds, which I'm 100 pounds under that, thankfully. So I feel pretty confident with my weight on this machine with every aspect of it. Now this is set to the lowest height currently. I am 74 inches tall, and this is supposed to be 76.3 inches, I believe. Now it's adjustable. It's got some knobs that you pull out, and you can slide this all the way up to 83.6 inches so that it's more like where I would stretch out my hands. That way I don't have to worry about my legs being on the ground so much if I wanted to dangle all the way. But I like it at this low setting because I use this with my patients here in the clinic so that they can reach the ground even if they're on the shorter side, or we simply put a step stool under them and they can easily reach the step stool so they're not putting their full body weight through their hands or elbows on the dip station. Now this comes with real nice padded elbow rests here and a padded backrest as well. And I like how this moves a bit just so that it moves with your body as you're doing any exercise. Or if you have a different shaped body than somebody else, it can conform. So it's got a little bit of give in it. And once you get in here, you just grab the handles like this and you can dangle from here and still do that distraction or that traction on your lower back this way, but you're holding yourself up from your elbows. Now, I am a bigger person. I'm, like I said, 6'2". So the distance from here to here is perfect. I mean, maybe even a little bit too small. Once you put your elbows on the elbow rest and slide your elbows back, you should be able to grab the handles right here so that you're secure. And then there's these other handles right here that are the dip handles where you would come up this way. I haven't done dips in a while, so I might not be the best at this. You got one out of me there. That's about it, but it feels very secure holding my 230 pounds up just fine. Now there's two handles down here that are designed for push-ups, which I personally like because I'm not most comfortable with putting my hands flat on the floor for very long. It just isn't good on my wrists personally. Some people tolerate it just fine. It's just my genetics. So I like to hold on to my handle just like this, and you get in your push-ups that way without extending your wrists too much in this position. So that's another little neat feature of the carbon steel frame of this pull-up and dip station. So now let me share with you some of the pros about the Bang, Tong, and Lee pull-up and dip station here. Number one, I love that it's so secure. The base is big enough that this thing, although it feels kind of wobbly right here, once you get in it, it feels fantastic. And honestly, that was my concern, that as I moved, as I did pull-ups on this, that it would tip over, but it takes quite a bit of force to tip this thing over once you're sitting in the middle of it. It's taller, so it's easy to just pull over. And it's actually very light too. I moved this around our clinic through the doors and I have to shimmy it in a certain way, but it works for us very, very well. It's absolutely fantastic to give you the hanging option from your upper body, from your hands up here, and also from your elbows down here. So you can hang, almost fell. So you can hang this way. And once I'm hanging here, I feel nice and secure, and I can also hang just fine right here as well, and it is very secure. I trust this device a lot more than the pull-up in the doorway device, which is great for certain people. For me and my setup here and in our offices, our walls aren't the sturdiest walls. And so I did not feel comfortable having patients hanging from a doorway. Plus I like to have the doors closed when we're doing patient treatments. So it just wasn't the best fit. Nothing against those things. I'm sure those are great for some people in certain places. But for us, this just worked great. I don't have a concern that this is gonna fall apart like I do if I put a pull-up bar in a doorway. I feel like that thing's gonna fall off the doorway or break our wall or break our door somehow, and I don't want that. Now we also have an inversion table. It's in the other room over there, but what I like about this over an inversion table is that it takes less space up overall. The inversion table, once you flip it, once you're going from upside down and right side up, it needs space to flip, and this thing just stays in the position that it's in. So you don't have to have as much space for this as you do an inversion table. Let me tell you the cons of this device. Now, this does require you to use your upper body a bit more, and I've had lots of patients say, well, I'm too weak, I can't hold myself up like that, or I can't hang from my hands get really tired. And I get it, but you know what? You kind of need to get stronger in your upper body. It's usually my female patients that don't like to do upper body exercises that have that complaint. I have some male patients too, for sure. But it's something that you need to be doing. And for the long term, your grip strength needs to get better. So I encourage my patients that are willing to hang from up here, to hang from the pull-up bar, but you have the option to do it from the dip station anyway. And then of course I tell them to put their feet on the ground. If you're tall enough to reach the ground and hang like I am right here, then right now I'm not putting my full body weight through my arms because my feet are touching the ground. So it's probably like 50-50. I can kind of stand up a bit and still use my grip here to distract. I feel tension going through my whole spine right here just fine, and my feet are on the ground. Now I can hang all the way and it's more effort and work on my hands, but it still decompresses my spine. If I have a herniated disc, that is gold for your disc. Same thing with the elbow rest here. This is good right here. Another con of this is it takes up a decent amount of space. Some inversion tables will fold up flat and you can kind of put them behind a door or tuck them away in a closet. This thing doesn't fold up, of course, it stays this size. So that might be a downside for you depending on your space availability. And one last con, and it's mainly just because of my size. I'm a taller person. When I put my elbow on the elbow pad here to grip the handle right here, I feel like it's just too short. I'm just a bigger person, but I've had patients that are shorter than me, smaller framed, and they reach it just fine. For me, it's just a bit big. So I just put my elbows a little further out and I just don't hold on to anything. And it doesn't bother me to do that. If I'm gonna do dips, I'm not resting my elbows, I'm using my hands. So I just adapt to it. Now let me tell you my honest physical therapist opinion about this dip and pull-up bar station. I absolutely love it. Obviously we invested in it. I'm gonna have it here for my patients as long as they need it. And I think it offers us more options, more versatility than having an inversion table, because all an inversion table does is invert you. You can do some exercises while you're there, but there's nothing to strengthen your upper body on that besides, controlling the descent or the flip when you're inverting. This one, obviously you can do push-ups, dips, pull-ups, there's so many other options. And I like that you can distract your back, your herniated disc, from two different positions to give you more options. One other thing that I really like, which is gonna take me into how to use this for exercise for your herniated disc, is the backrest. When you get into the position like I was, I put my back on there and then it's on the small of my back, on the curve of my back right here. And when you're hanging, you should be sucking in your abs to activate your abs properly and take even more pressure off your disc. And you can get a little bit of feedback from this pad right here, because when you push back, it's like you're pushing against that pad. Now it lines up pretty well for me. All the patients I've had here, it's lined up on them pretty well too. So I can't guarantee it's gonna be directly in the same position, because it's not adjustable. You can't change the height of the backrest or the height of the elbow rest to make it just right. But it's worked out with everybody we put this on so far. So let me go into ways to use this to help your herniated disc problem. Now, what we tell our patients here that have herniated disc issues is to attempt hanging for 10 seconds, even to 30 seconds or more, as long as your upper body can tolerate it. And of course, you're gonna offload with your feet if needed. And we want to do that for 10 minutes at a time. So if you're not using the overhead pull-up bar, and you're gonna use the dip station, or I'm sorry, the elbow rest right here, and you're just gonna hang from this position. But now my back's against the backrest. What I'm gonna do is push my back in, which makes my legs come forward, and I'm using my abdominals here. I feel all these muscles right here engage, because I'm doing what we call a pelvic tilt, or a drawing in the abdominals. That motion right there, it just lengthens the back muscles here, which takes pressure off of them and takes pressure off the discs. And if you can train your body to work that way while hanging at the same time, it's like you're killing two birds with one stone, because you're strengthening into the proper balance, and then you're also taking gravity off your disc. You're doing so much good in that moment. You could do the same thing from hanging up overhead, and I would tell people the same thing, 10-second to 30-second holds, more if you can, and you're doing 10 minutes at a time with breaks, of course, as needed. But you're doing that same abdominal drawing maneuver, you just don't have a backrest down there to push against. And if you're shorter, get a footstool under you, and you can reach it just fine, and put your feet on the ground so you can take pressure off, so you're not putting your full body weight through your elbows right here or through your arms up here. And theoretically, you could be in a dip position like this and just holding right there. That's also distracting, and I can suck in my abs that way and still get my abs engaged to decompress my back. Hey, I hope this video was helpful for you. If it was, please give it a thumbs up, share it with somebody that you think needs to hear this, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of our helpful videos. This channel is dedicated to keeping people healthy, active, mobile. We make a bunch of videos on a variety of different conditions. We focus on giving people healthy advice, exercises, stretches, and tips to stay healthy, avoid surgery, medications, and injections. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye-bye.